Namaste, angels. I'm going to do a client reading, and I apologize for the delay with the general reading, or the collective readings, rather. Those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know that my daughter and I have previously done like bouts of veganism, I guess challenges to ourselves. Oh, let's be vegan for a month, and when we do that, we go pretty hard, like organic, raw, vegan. So I never tried to do that as a lifestyle. I'm still not, but we are attempting to move to a completely vegan diet permanently now. So again, maybe not organic raw, but permanently. So yesterday, I took the two of them, my two girls, to Red Lobster. The older one, who won't be following the diet with us, but doesn't follow any diet but her own, which is quite strange, I might add, loves Red Lobster and wanted us to go there. The little one liked it too. We took advantage of that unlimited shrimp thing and hung out, and then today spent the day like shopping for vegan stuff because that was the end of that. You know, the shrimp was the last of it. So, enough about me and why I'm late. On to this client's reading. I'm beginning with balance in the Tony Carmine Solano Universal Love Oracle. And nice, opening to soulmate. I like when that happens like right off the bat. Balance and emergence. Whenever I look at this card, I always, I can't help but to imagine what must be beneath this woman. If all of that's surrounding her is so very, yellow and orange and purple, all these bright and like regal colors, divine colors, what must be beneath from which she rose has to be the darkness. So now coming to the surface and getting one's bearings and seeking balance, basically. Answer prayer. Also, when I look at this card, I see air and potentially water. Although in shuffling my angel tarot cards, I came mostly to earth, like back-to-back earth, like the ace of earth, the king of earth, the queen, like, each time I opened it was earth. So I'm not sure if air or water are involved. But they, to the two of them together, whether somebody is of the air element as far as their zodiac, or of the water element as far as their zodiac, the air and water together demonstrate balance, achieving balance. If we can get those to work together, anything can work, right? And now opening to blessings. So on the heels of answered prayer, blessings is where we begin to see what it is we've manifested. It becomes more tangible, right? And we should be counting those things. I'm going to cut on that note. And back to the answered prayer. And the overall energy is dreams. So what I'm going to do now is a cross spread from the perspective of the divine masculine, with the first card representing the feminine's higher self to the feminine, or about the feminine. And then the masculine with relation to the feminine and himself. And with regard to the union, all as it relates, as these things relate to the union, of course, not just thoughts of the masculine. Overall, the outcome, what the masculine would have the feminine to do toward the union, what he himself is willing to do, contribute, surrender, and what the universe would have the two to do, both. Feminine, miracles. Very nice. So we one after the other. Answer prayer, blessings, miracles. So somebody's been, putting some positivity into the universe. at least inadvertently. If they didn't mean to on purpose, the higher self is speaking and asking for, support and whatever that means. And it's coming. The masculine with relation to the feminine, forgiveness. When we see this, not only would the masculine be seeking it, but also willing to extend it is what this would mean. Beginning with himself. And you see like it in itself can be one of the miracles. Maybe it's not a person who's very apt to saying sorry. Many of us are not. The same colors in these two cards, the purple, the yellow, the white, repeating, because they go together. The masculine with relation to himself, heaven on earth. So there's something of a lot of like divine kind of cards coming out here. You have Kuan Yin, you have Mary, the answered prayer, the blessings, the miracles. Now heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is about needing to vacate a space for something new, to let go of something old, onto what you've been holding for whatever reason. It's time to let it go. And you will not get what is new to replace it until you let it go. Some people, they say, well, I'm not suggesting this is you, but I'm giving you an example. I don't know if that guy is really ready, so I'm not going to leave my boyfriend that, sucks and beats me or whatever. I'm not going to leave him yet until I'm sure what the other guy is doing, if he really wants to go. No, you leave the first person because that's a toxic relationship and you don't belong there and you know it. That's why you leave, regardless of what's going on with somebody else. Because if you do end up leaving for someone else, you still won't manifest what it is you're looking for. So this is about that sort of thing. Like the masculines need to let something go because it needs to be let go. And then I'm sure there'll be other benefits, right? That's when other good things come into your life, some that you planned, some that you didn't. That's when you open up the flow. But he has to let go of that. Whatever it is that's old, that's blocking him. And with regard to the union, golden path, awesome. So the union in itself is healing from the perspective of the masculine. This card for me, golden path, is like the equivalent of the yellow brick road from the Wizard of Oz. And when Dorothy gets, and the Dorothy and the lion and the Tin Man, when they get to the end of the yellow brick road, they reach the Emerald City. And it's my belief that when we get to the end of the golden path, that's when we reach the Emerald Ray. That's where Archangel Raphael is waiting to restore us. That's where God is waiting to restore us. That, whatever, in whatever, one believes, the Creator is waiting to restore us, the universe. So the union in itself is a healing one. Restores him, you, itself, back to health. And that's what's going on now. And will be helped by these things, by the forgiveness, by the fact that you've spoken those words upon your life, upon his life, upon the union, and it's coming back now. By him letting go of whatever it is he needs to let go, and clearing away that block. That's how the healing is going to happen. Overall, that balance is back. So maybe we are working with, like an air and or water sign, trying to achieve this balance through, again, the healing of the union itself, and the union being a healer for, each of the two parties involved. Nice. What would the masculine have the feminine do? Contribute, surrender toward the union? Reflection. So he wants you to think back. This card also sharing a lot of the same colors as this miracle card under which it sits. Look back, right? There were good times. There were, maybe you've come to a difficult place. You're at an unhealthy place. Maybe you're at a place of separation. But But it's like, don't forget, from where we come, from where this comes. I want you to look back. I want you to consider your present. I want you to consider the future. What you, will have, may have. And then believe in miracles, like your own higher self is guiding you to do. After that reflection. Reflect, think, go within, and decide whether you have, whether there's room for forgiveness from where you're concerned. Whether you can forgive yourself, forgive him, and move on toward whatever future it is you see when you reflect upon that. What's he willing to do and or surrender aside from knowing that he needs to let something go? Blessings, like count them. And he's probably somebody, again, that not only wasn't very apt to saying sorry, but to counting his blessings, or even believe, to believe that he was due any, that he warranted any, that he, could get any, that they even existed. Because a lot of times we don't experience something ourselves, we figure it must not be true. And perhaps this balance, right, this newly achieved, or, like visible, it's in grasp, it's in view, balance might be what's helped to like wake him up to that. Because we have these two cards sharing the same colors as well. What would the universe have the two of you to do a surrender? You have to visit your inner child. You have to visit your inner child. I did see the I think it was the Queen of Air also. And now this is sitting here next to balance. This card often speaks not only air sign, but often specifically Aquarius to me because of the stars showing up here. The star in the traditional tarot represents the sign of Aquarius. And it represents air signs for me, this card, specifically because of this star that's over this little girl's throat. And air signs, particularly Gemini, under the sign of Mercury, under the planet Mercury, which is their ruler, the communication planet. Gemini is the great communicators, but Aquarians also communicators, as are Libras. That's what we do. And this child has something to say, and it may be something that's been buried here, in their throat. And now this whole being buried somewhere within you may find them upon this reflection. And she's got something to say out of both of you. The outcome. Celebration. Celebration. So the words, you will find the words and the forgiveness and be able to move on down this path toward happiness, healing, joy. Awesome. Now I will do one, speaking of communication. And by the way, again, your overall energy was dreams, more of the same colors. And a lot of those blessings you may recognize in your dreams. You may get messages. Those can be blessings. But also that communication may be in your sleep, either from, God, the angels, the universe, whatever, or one another. Archangel Michael in particular likes to visit people in their dreams or do a lot of his work while we're sleeping. And I'm starting with communication with my hashtag creepy deck. Speaking of communication and getting something off your chest and out your throat. And opening to control. So this card is about manipulation. You may be the manipulator, you may be the manipulatee, or both, depending upon, any given moment. And maybe that's something we can talk about and work out. Young female, this could represent either of you. Doesn't have to be you. Sometimes this card comes through also for someone's child. There's a little girl involved. Somebody has a child. I see that card. Young female. Also someone youthful. Not necessarily young, but youthful. I pull this card sometimes for myself, like, as a significator representing me. It comes out young female. Well, I'm a Gemini, so that's like a youthful sign, or a quote unquote immature sign. So, it comes up like that. But again, it may be somebody's daughter. Opening to children now. Excuse me. Young female. And back to control. So on that note, maybe someone is feeling like the child who is being controlled. I'm getting that. And maybe somebody is being controlled by their other child's parent. I'm getting that too. Like the child is being used, as a pawn or something. Young female. I'm going to cut. Long distance. So I mentioned before that, you guys might be in separation. That, of course, coming through yet again with this. This card can represent any kind of distance, though. Even if you're sitting right next to each other, if there's a metaphorical distance that has come between you, this card can show up too. Overall energy is past love, though. The divine couple, the recent past, the near future. Blocks to the union. The masculine's higher self. And the outcome. What the feminine can do. What the masculine can do. And further advice from the universe. The divine couple. Wow. This, I swear, is like the third, maybe even fourth time this week that the divine couple has been represented by twin flame in the reading. Which I appreciate. Let's just get that out of the way and find out what kind of couple it is, with which we're dealing. But it's pretty incredible. A lot of times I think it's the timing on which I work on a reading. Like sometimes I try to do them all, any readings that I receive, whether they're phone or whatever, video, whatever I receive during a week, I try to do it and post it by, or be done with it by Saturday of that week. And sometimes I'll find maybe I forgot somebody. Maybe somebody should have been done a week or two ago. I'm just getting to them now. I'll find they're the same zodiac sign. That'll come out. There'll be this, everybody will be. I was mentioning Aquarius before. Everybody that I do that day will be in Aquarius. By quote unquote coincidence. Now this time it's twin flame. All right. So very nice start. Recent past. Friendship. I feel that this is representing you guys, recent past. And time is relative, so I'm not really sure what recent even means. But you started out as friends. It could have another meaning too, but that's what came out just now. The near future. True gem. So there could be gifts, and they might not be physical gifts. They may be. Like I was saying, somebody may be in it. Maybe somebody's a Libra, for example, and their birthday's coming up. There's a gift. Somebody's a Scorpio. I saw that air and water, and there's a gift. But more so, what I'm getting from this is the kind of 50-50 exchange that comes with the Six of Earth. Even though there's not necessarily anything reflective of Earth laying here, that's what I'm feeling as I touch this card. It does also often represent Geminis to me, to speak of air signs. and also of a bond, especially sitting here under friendship, because I always take note with this friendship card, and it takes on different meanings depending upon the nature of the friendship that comes through. But I always take note of this ring, and that's not on the ring finger that would indicate marriage, but it's like a wedding band type ring here on this person's pointer with these friends. So this also could signify a bond, like a particular bond for me. And even sacred marriage, like the kind that come like a twin, quote unquote, twin flame relationship, the kind of love and sacred marriage, even if there's no marriage in the 3D, that consists of, friendship and like a particular value that's sort of like immeasurable, true gem. The masculine's higher self while I'm up here. Young female. Now, he could be feeling this way. We all have that inner masculine and feminine. And if we think back to the first spread, he was trying to achieve that balance. And then the overall energy for the two of you was that balance. But I'm still getting that this is somebody's daughter too. So maybe it's his. Maybe it's his daughter. Let me continue. Like, the cards can have more than one meaning again. Blocks to the union. Mature woman. So yeah, with these two together, he may have a child with another woman, and not the child itself being a block, but that's what's on his mind. That's with what he's dealing. And mature woman, a block, like her mother, a block, her mother causing a difficulty, maybe that manipulation. I'm hearing maturity too. I'm not sure who that's attributed to, but again, taking on another meaning of this card. Somebody's maturity level or immaturity level also coming into play, having nothing to do with age, it would seem. Hopefully that'll continue to come through. What can the feminine do? So the feminine's getting like a lot of attention, or you might not even realize it. There could be a friend, this could be another meaning, a friend in the feminine's life that doesn't mean her well, a Judas too, that she might not even notice. But the feminine, like very attractive, at least right now, feeling very attractive, looking very attractive, and indeed attracting other people, like feeling good and all of that. Feeling good, looking good. What can the masculine do? Try dating. Try to be friends again. That maybe have a particular bond. Further advice from the universe, work. Like put effort into it is what you're going to have to do. And dating is one way, certainly, to do that. And the outcome, money. Money. So this is, yes, in a literal sense, work. You work and you get money, But it's any kind of work, any kind of effort. It's saying like, the reward, if you put the effort in, you'll get the reward, is what this spread is saying. And the reward is, both of these, basically. Friendship and this other, like, indescribable relationship that people have coined, quote unquote, twin flame, that really is something more of a sacred nature that comes from the scriptures. And when I say the scriptures, I don't mean just like Christian, like the Christians own this or anything like that, because that's absolutely not the case. I mean the scriptures in general. the Torah, which is several thousand years before the Bible, and the Quran as well. And then other ancient texts too, even hieroglyphics and everything demonstrate this stuff. They don't call it twin flame though. And to connect this back in, the past love, because I'm still like staring at this. So like that's what's a block. That's what's a block. And it can be in both cases. So not necessarily just like the masculine and it's definitely a woman. This woman could be representing somebody in your life too, who's attracted because you are attractive. At least, again, particularly right now, in this moment. You might be giving off some kind of glow, aura, and all of that kind of stuff too, which is awesome. All right, so I'm going to do another spread. See what else we can find out with the romance angels. Doreen Virtue romance angels. Beginning with healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. But it's not just your parents. It's anybody that can impact, manipulate, control in any way, good, bad, or indifferent, your life to the extent that you become immobile and you can't progress in life, in love, in your love life. That has to be dealt with. Whether you walk away from those people or you repair the relationship. And beginning with healing family issues, again, I'm connecting it to that woman, especially if she's the mother of a child or a child is involved. If that's your quote unquote baby daddy, popping up too as a past love. That's a family issue also that has to be healed. Okay. Oh, okay. So I guess we're meant to see wedding. This situation involves marriage. Very nice. But also you deserve love. You are lovable. Healing family issues. And it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Healing family issues and children are back. Your love life is being affected by children. Healing family issues. I'll go one more. Flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Healing family issues. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful, I talked about being youthful before, spirit of fun to shine. So I have to tell you, as I was shuffling in my hand to get the overall energy, a card jumped out. I stopped, I opened my eyes, I looked. It was free yourself. So I have to tell you what that, that happened. Also, as I was shuffling was coming to me, that youthful, again, goes to maturity level. And when I said or immaturity level, like that didn't necessarily mean anything negative. Like somebody could be being a stick in the mud, like acting too, or somebody could be overly, not taking things serious enough, as is necessary. And that's forming a block too. All right, so let me move on with this. The overall energy is now pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Masculine, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. I just got what he needs to let go of could also be tied into that other woman and the child. Not that you let go of your child. That's not what I mean. But let go of like the cords of attachment, the negative cords of attachment in particular to that situation, that circumstance, whatever it is. And like the other cards demonstrated, there's a need to make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So the same thing as when that work card came out, and I said that's about the effort. Same message here. In the masculine subconscious, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So he may have a situation with, another woman and or a child. And the way he was raised, even if he's miserable, and, she beats him with her rolling pin and all that kind of stuff, he's supposed to stay there. And like dealing with that, fighting, being conflicted oneself. That also would explain the search for balance and the need to deal with some inner child issues. It could come from his own childhood, and not wanting to be the same kind of father that he had, or not wanting his child to have the same kind of mother he had, or whatever the circumstances, and something that he's trying to avoid, to be better than what was shown to him. Can all come with this card, especially in this position. And for you, something similar, like being tied to something that's negative and toxic. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. They can be on his side, they can be on your side, they can be on both or either, and still affect you. I mean, obviously anything that affects you, that involves you is going to affect him, and vice versa. And addictions it's not necessarily like a substance abuse. Like people think of addictions, somebody's on drugs. It's possible, that's possible, sure. But not necessarily. It's anything, any person, place, or thing that is toxic to you, of which you need to let go. But it's like holding you back is a codependent situation. However, your romantic feelings are real and worth exploring. So you will need to make the effort there. In your subconscious, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Crowning, true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. And at the root, love yourself first. So I talked about this with the healing family issues, like not allowing other people, not living and or loving for other people. Like that, we got to do that stuff for ourselves. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And at the heart of the matter, wedding is back. How nice is that? This situation involves marriage, which is something else that True Gem can signify for me too, with that, like represents the diamond. But I talked about the wedding band, all that kind of stuff also. I was hoping the next card would be upright and we could look some more at codependency, but I'm sure you know what it is. We tend to know what it is, by which we're like trapped, or we feel trapped. From the hashtag creepy deck, travel to the masculine. And I'm always drawn to like the plane going in to me, this is like a backward direction, like maybe wanting to revisit a past situation. It can have to do with actual travel and wanting to reduce that distance, whether literal or metaphorical, between you that showed up before too. For you, passion. This is, following what and allowing for what moves you, what drives you. To me, those are red flags. Like whatever your burning passion is, your overall energy is pay attention to the red flags. That would be stuff like that. Whatever moves you. Masculine has some fear of which to let go. This has probably been hindering him and prohibiting him from, letting go of the old that he needs to let go of in order to move forward. So that's something he'll have to work on. For you, love, let this be what directs you, what guides you. Again, your passions. For whatever your heart burns, that's what you're to make your priority. Masculine, boom. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So yes, that is who that woman was, or who she represented. And you have one too, as I felt. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So similar to how the masculine had to let go of one, you need to as well. I hope that you enjoy your reading and that you find it helpful, dear. Namaste, Angel.